You think your generation invented technology? Nah, we started it. We melted rocks, made shiny weapons, and accidentally invented drama. I was born in a small riverside village, mud walls, goats everywhere, and the constant sound of someone arguing about barley. My mother said I came into this world screaming louder than the thunder that night. My father said I've never stopped since. As a kid, I loved fire. Maybe too much. I once burned down our entire grain storage trying to cook mud pies. My father wasn't impressed. He said, "One day you'll either destroy the village or make something useful." Well, eventually I did both. One day, this weird guy, we called him Smokey, threw shiny stones into the fire and started yelling, "It's melting!" We thought he'd finally lost it. But then the fire cooled, and there it was, bronze. It gleamed like sunlight on water. Everyone gasped. Someone whispered, "Magic." Smokey said, "No, science." None of us knew what that meant, but we nodded anyway. After that day, everything changed. Suddenly, everyone wanted bronze. Knives, spears, jewelry, cups, spoons, even spoons for the goat. My mother said, "What's wrong with wood?" My father said, "It doesn't shine." And that was the end of that conversation. I begged Smokey to teach me how to melt metal. He said, "Fire makes men, but also ashes." Wise words. I ignored them completely. I burned my eyebrows off twice that week and nearly lost a toe. But when I finally shaped my first bronze knife, it felt like holding lightning. By the time I turned 15, people traveled for miles to trade for bronze. Our quiet little village became a noisy market. Strangers, donkeys, arguments, all day. I once tried to sell a half-melted lump of copper as modern art. Nobody bought it. Guess I was just ahead of my time. Then I met Mira. She laughed at my terrible forge jokes. That's when I knew she was the one. We married under the old oak tree. She said she wanted a simple life, and then asked for bronze earrings. I spent 3 days trying to make them. The 4th day, she pretended to like them. That's love. We had 2 kids, both loud, both curious. My forge became their playground. Once, my son tried to melt goat poop, just to see what happens. Spoiler, nothing useful. My daughter drew pictures in the dust, people, animals, even little suns. I told her, "You'll be famous one day." She said, "For drawing?" I said, "Maybe, or for inventing something that explodes." Life was good, busy, but good, until power arrived. You see, before bronze, everyone was equal. You had a stick, I had a rock. We were fine. But then some guy made a sword and suddenly became chief. Now everyone bows to the man with shiny metal. Mira says power changes people. I say it just makes them louder. Wars started over tin, over copper, over whose cow stepped on whose farm. I even saw a guy trade his daughter for a bronze axe. He said, "It's a good deal." His wife disagreed, loudly. But there was beauty too. We built better houses, carved idols, made songs about heroes and fires. We even invented something like writing. Little scratches on clay. I tried it once. The clay exploded. Turns out you shouldn't bake it on the forge. Years passed. My hair turned gray, my hands rough. My son took over the forge. Smarter, faster, less likely to set himself on fire. He made molds, cast shapes, even made a little statue of me once. I looked angry. He said, "That's just your face." Kids. Now I sit by the river, watching smoke rise from the village. Sometimes I think about the old days. Before bronze, before trade, before noise. When life was simple, and my biggest problem was finding a dry stick. But maybe this is how it's supposed to be. We build, we learn, we burn a few things, and we move forward. Fire gave us warmth. Bronze gave us tools. And something tells me the next stage will bring even bigger changes. Maybe they'll find a new metal, one that doesn't melt my eyebrows off. Or maybe they'll build entire cities from it. Whatever comes next, I just hope they remember us. The fools who melted rocks and called it progress. Now, if you'll excuse me, my goat just ate my hammer again.